distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Hyden. I'm just gonna start now. I don't really feel like waiting. I don't know if my audio is gonna be too loud though. I should probably do a quick audio test. Let's see what happens. Pause this. Alright, then listen to this. I feel like waiting. I don't know if my audio is gonna be too loud though. I should probably do a quick audio test. Let's see what happens. Pause this. Alright, then listen to this. Yeah, okay. Music could be a little bit louder, I guess, because you can't even really hear it. I don't know what to say about that. Maybe like that. I don't know. Anyways, stopping the timer. So, I've just been tweaking stuff in this little platformer game here. So if I were, let's just move my player to the start. That's like over here. I think that's supposed to have coins and stuff, but all the coins have been removed. So it's kind of going to be pointless and like there's not really going to be much to see there, but sure, why not? So if you look, we got a little cylinder now instead of a square. I figure it's more appropriate because he's probably going to be about that size. Can you hear my own voice? Double jump works beautifully. And I found out I can't actually use rigid bodies on anything because since I'm using a character controller, the move for character controller, if I want the camera to make it not jittery, this needs to be on late update. So if I put it on fixed update and I move around, you see how jittery it becomes? But if I have it on late update and I had a rigid body, that would move jittery. So it's just kind of like a kind of pain in the ass, I guess. I don't really know what to say for that one. Yeah, so we can jump, right? Jump on up. The yellow cube right now just represents something that you'd hang off of. So if I jump, I should stick to it. So I'm essentially hanging. I can go left, right. I can't go up or down. I basically have to jump to go up. If I pull back, I fall off it. Jason Kennedy says, you need to move your character on fixed update instead of update. Yeah, so the problem with that, I was trying to, like, do that, but even if I was recording inputs, I'm for jumping, and I want to do a call to say if is grounded, and I've pressed A, I want the character to jump, right? Now, if I have my movements on fixed update, it doesn't check if we're grounded in time, so you miss a jump. So sometimes you'll be on the ground, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. 1 second. Jason's saying you can set a flag and update for a jump and clear it and fix it. Yeah, so I was trying and I basically just failed at that. If you can, like, well, no, that's not what I was going to say, but I don't know. It doesn't really seem that big of an issue. I just got rid of rigid bodies and have my camera going on a late update, and it all works like really smooth. This didn't maximize. Why not? There we go. Keyboard input is only checked on update, so if you refresh is higher than the fixed update rate, you can miss key presses in fixed update. Yeah, so I was making it, what is this? Found time scales less than float dot return. Float dot epsilon. I have no idea what that means. Let's look that up. Smallest value different from 0. Interesting. Right now, if you looked at my script, before I jump around and like get all the coins and stuff, I can show you it. So I have it here in update. Basically, we got our joystick inputs. We apply gravity. Like, we don't apply the actual gravity, we just get what the number would be. We check if we're jumping or swimming or hanging. Then we have to set the initial rotation to match that of the camera, and then the object's rotation, which is the child object itself, because we're not actually rotating with the joystick, but it's hard to explain. But anyways, that happens, and then finally movement happens. And if I put move in fixed update, it still doesn't pick up jump, because movement here, that part's not important. Here, can move, not wall sliding. I don't know why this didn't work. Like, if I just did void fixed update, excuse me. Hello, Alpha Angels. Angles? Angles. Jeez. Totally read that wrong. So, wait. I then need to switch my camera to be fixed update. Alright, so we should move smoothly again. See, why am I not missing inputs now? I'm confused. Yeah, there, see, I am missing inputs. You can't tell, but I'm pressing A like 900 times here. Even though my jump is in update, like the actual code for it. Where is jump? Jump. And all I'm doing is checking if my current jumps... Oh, when do I reset current jumps? That's probably what it is. Here. In gravity, I'm resetting current jumps. And I'm checking if my character... Yeah, I just don't understand it. I really don't get why this is a thing. Because gravity's here. Yeah, oh well. I'm just going to leave it how it is. I don't mind not using rigid bodies. I don't really like rigid bodies to begin with. I like character controllers and just no colliders at all and such. So this is still on late update, good. So this should work again, right? Alright, good. Okay, so let's just continue here. Next thing I fixed was create a fully custom physics system. I'm going to avoid that. That takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. It would just be a lot of raycasts. So yeah, I hang from this. I fixed the camera. So the Freelook camera rig only doesn't clip the player if the player is a rigid body. So I had to add in if the tag is player or player mesh to not clip it. So that way like it doesn't go through them, right? So that's good. We go down, a bunch of coins. I think this movement is great. I don't know why I like this so much. Collect all the coins that I can get. This is all too high. There's a key. There's a crown. And that over there is a test on an object where it applies gravity if it's like above something. If this made no sense. That object is basically a life up that just moves around. It's still a coin because I haven't modeled it. But if we were to grab it and say put it over here, made its rotation like this, like so. It's just going to move along. Once it hits something, it should bounce back in the opposite direction it was going. Now, it seems higher than it should be also. So let's just put has gravity on for a second. There we go. Oh, wait. Has gravity and random movement. There we go. So it's going to fall and then it's going to go in a random direction. It chose this way. So it's just for like a power up or something that moves around the world. And it checks if it's no longer grounded, and if it's not, then it falls. But it has no colliders on it, so that was kind of fun. So I guess that's a collision system right there for you, Alpha. But not really, right? I also don't like that I can see through these shadows. That really bugs me. That has to do with... I always forget which one this is. The near clip plane is too... no. I think it's on the import, or the fact that I'm not using hard shadows. Okay, let's try a few things. Freeheld camera rig. Not what I wanted. I don't want lighting the whole time. Maybe I didn't want lighting. Skybox, real time. Where's my shadows? My directional light, I guess. Aha, hard shadows. Well, that really emphasizes that, eh? Oh, it's the normal bias. There we go. So I can just drag the normal bias to 0. I don't really think that's going to affect me much. What's the difference between bias and normal bias? If this was like all the way out here. Oh, that's... okay. Let's not move the bias. Let's leave it that, whatever's at. Put this to 0. Okay, untouch everything for a second. Okay. Pull this down to 0. Good. I had issues with the moving platform not moving a character if moving an update instead of fixed update. Yeah, so I didn't actually have that issue. I do have a moving platform here, and it works pretty nicely. Let's go over there. Yeah, that shadow... what the fuck? Is that the way the shadow's supposed to look? It's really confusing, because these objects, you'll notice, I actually get duplicate shadows. So like there's one over here and one on that wall. It's because these objects are... I don't know, emissive and they don't get lighting. It was some weird thing that Unity did, and it really kind of bothers me. So yeah, if we go to this moving platform, so you can see I'm on it. It moves nicely. I can jump. I can stay on it by jumping. If I were to jump and move off, it does fling me off a little bit, but that's because this platform's also moving stupidly fast. And my character is not moving as fast as that. So if I jump this way, yeah. Let me swim, it's slower. Press X bunch of times to go down. But I guess what I should do is set up some like prefab coin sets and such. Just so that when I actually do make levels, you know, it won't take me like 800 years. So let's go. I'll close that for now. I do have the prefabs. Okay. I guess I can just drag this in. 0, 0, 0. Why not? Oh, because I can't see shit. That's just great. Okay, let's move these 3 cubes. There's another cube here? What the fuck? What cube is this? Huh. There was 2 cubes there. Why? I don't know. That's cool. Okay, I'm just gonna turn these off for a second. There we go. Hello Jessica, how you doing today? Okay, so we have our one little beautiful coin. Let's create an empty unit. I'm actually gonna pull it out. Okay. C batch 4x4. Drag it in. I would assume if this is a 4x4, if I move this over by 2, and then I put another one that's -2, is that the distance I want? I think it is. And then let's move these to 2, and these to -2. Right, that looks the right distance away. Kind of hard to tell. Turn all this back on for a second. Cancel this arrow. Alpha asks, hey Dustin, what do you think of a Smash Bros type of game? I think it's extremely difficult to make, but they're fun to play. These might be too far apart. Is my player still over here? Did I move him? He's up there. Okay, good. Does that 4 batch look too far apart? Yeah. You also notice when I get that first coin, another coin appears over my head. That's because I'm at 99 coins in my inventory, and it's supposed to give me a life up, but the life up is currently a coin model, so if I get this, it kind of just falls onto me. I feel like they're just maybe a little bit too far apart. Maybe. Like what's... if I did 1.5s... Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm supposed to be like getting ready to go downtown and whatnot, but as you can see, I'm preoccupied. I'm sure I'll get ready eventually. Okay, there we go. So nice 4 batch. Yeah, I think that's a good distance. Now if I run up, I should collect them all. Yes. All right. So I drag this in here. Is it going to show 4 coins? It does. Perfect. Okay. So now we know the distances that we want between coins. If you just did some basic math here, like it's 1.5 away from the center plus 1.5. So they're 3 away from each other, if that made any sense. Probably didn't describe that too well. So let's move this one to 0, 0, 0. So if I want to make this even, let's do -1.5. It's not the direction I want to go, but whatever. Yeah, you know what, we'll do it properly then. -1.5 is this way from the center, and then we're gonna actually add another. Should I just do -3? Or do I have to do -4.5? I do. Okay, good to know. Boom. Alright, so that's a nice 4x1. Ooh, it's almost... I guess I can just make this platform bigger. That's not really concerned, because it can just fit onto anything, but... yeah, be like this instead. So I'd make this also prefab. I could probably rename these too, so they don't need to be called differently. Yeah, so there we go. Managed to pick one up, that's great. Huh. See, I was stuck there for a second. I wasn't falling. Why was that? I don't know. What I'm gonna do actually, I'm gonna build this. I'm gonna send it to you guys on Google Drive so you can play it. Build and run? I think no, I was supposed to make it build. Well, that's okay. Press play, sure, why not? Let's create a new folder. Okay, so I'm going to drag those files in real quick. Jason's saying, what's your skin width on the character controller? I will check that in a second. That could be the issue. You're probably right. I didn't even think of that. But first, let's get this build file on Google Drive for everybody. Platformer build 003. It's a much smaller file than... Oh well. So it's going to be in this link. It's just... wait for it. Finishing upload. Cool. Okay. Feel free to run around. There's not much to do. The enemy AI isn't finished, but there is an enemy in the game if you find him. It's not really hard to find, but... This looks odd to me now that that's cutting into it. But that's just because of this. But, oh well. Yeah, let's look at our player. Is that my... What is that box that is... That is my character controller, isn't it? What does skin width change? What if I did like 0.1? We can like roll right off then, eh? Like that. What's a skin width of 1 do? Oh. Oh, that's the... I see. Yeah, I haven't really bothered changing the character controller just yet because obviously my character is not going to remain a... what do you call it? A capsule. He's going to be a character. So we'll get there. We'll get to that point eventually. I wonder if I could just save my time. No, I'm gonna have to manually do this, eh? Fix these numbers. My brain. Okay, wait, what's this one? This is name 1.5. And this is 1.5. So this one needs to be 4.5. And this one needs to be 7. Is that right? 4.5 and 7? 5.5. Why is it? Wait, I'm adding 3, aren't I? I'm not adding... Oh, retarded. 7.5. There we go. $7.5. 4.5. So I realize it doesn't really matter where they are in this because I can just change this here from center to pivot, right? And it's not a big deal. Alpha's saying, why not create a script so that you can set a certain amount of coins on an empty instead of placing each one manually? Once I make these prefabs, it's not really any much of a time saver. It would just come down to just drag this in, put it where you want it, as opposed to drag in an empty and type in a number. So it wouldn't, actually this would save me more time in the end. So I'll stick with this. Let's rename this 4x2. But I mean, if I did have those scripts, it'd be easy to reload them if I needed, but oh well. Alright, let's make a, why did I call this a 4x4? I didn't really think this one out, did I? It's very obviously 2x2. Can also set an XY. Yeah, but those things aren't that helpful. Like, what if I wanted an L shape, right? Then I'd have to like just really make some advanced code, or I could just make it a prefab and then reuse it whenever. So I do get what you're saying. I guess it's just a preference thing, and I'm gonna stay away from that. Okay, let's call this one 4x4 now. Now, if I'm correct, couldn't I just say like plus 1.5? Nope, that moved them all together. That's a shame. Devin Owens is asking if I have any advice on level design. I suppose the one very important thing I find... Oh, these are way too low, eh? Oh, crap. Is there a... If I were to drag this in, I think I messed up. Because those are going to float too low. But with level design, the way I like to think of it is whenever you have a level, break it down to 4 parts. But the first part is where you just introduce them to what the basic concept of that level is going to be. So say it's you learn about an enemy. So like you easily just fight one of them kind of thing. And then the second part is where it's like a little bit more advanced. Then the third part is where it's supposed to be like mastery. And then the fourth part is that plus any other kind of elements from previous levels. So that way it just keeps it new and fresh. I know it sounds like really brief. Did I make this prefab? There we go. But I find that actually just very good. Just keep in your mind whenever you're making levels, design it so it's super simple, and then just, yeah, I don't know, I'm not giving good advice right now, and I really think I goofed on this one, because they're all in the ground. Now, if I were to drag this in place, though, will they be in the ground? No, they won't. Okay, that doesn't matter then. We can just remove this, and drag it in. Aha, there we go. Cool. I suppose if I wanted a vertical one, I could just take this and make it oh no, I can't. I was gonna rotate it like so. Then the coins would be moving the wrong way. You'll see what I mean in a second. Right there. That's a shame. So I'm gonna have to make a couple directions. Oh, I know what I could do. I goofed. Yeah, that's not a big deal. Okay. This shouldn't take too long. I could rotate this. Oops. By 90. Okay, I'm going to take all of these and give them a negative 90 rotation. Right. Good. Now they're on top of each other. And let's drag these out. go back to here, make this a 0 rotation, and drag these back in. Wait. I didn't have to make this 90 at all. I could have taken the coins out. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name properly, but Rada Sarwar. I use C#. I'm not a fan of Uniscript, even though I do actually love JavaScript. So it's kind of an interesting dilemma of mine. And then what you asked also? Sorry, I'm kind of zoning in and out right now. What is the best site to learn either from? So Unity documentation is actually really, really helpful. And I find whenever I'm stuck, honestly, I'll Google, like, how do I move an object, right? And then that result usually leads me, like, Unity move an object. Yeah, it'll lead me to answers.unity.com, and that's when I read the answers people give. And I won't just read, like, the top one. I'll read a bunch to see, like, what the terms mean. And then I just, like, teach myself all of those terms, so that way I know specifically when to use which and what's better where. I should probably just, I don't need the C. I think it's pretty obvious what these are. So instead I'm going to call it 4x1 horizontal. So there we go. That way it'll all fit. Let's rename this 2x2 vertical. Batch 4x1 vertical. Wait, this is horizontal. Oh my god, I'm a derp. Okay. This is clearly vertical. These are clearly horizontals. How many? Oh. Batch for 2x2 horizontal. Okay. 4x1 horizontal. Batch 4x2 horizontal. Yeah, it might have been better to actually code what you're saying, Alpha, because this could take a while to get all these different shapes made. There you go. You can get a bunch of coins. You get a bunch more coins. Get a bunch of coins. This is a hang thing, so I can just jump here if I wanted. Jump my way up. You can also pull away, which is actually a lot easier to get up if you jump, pull away. That's if you're really gamey. But it's also going to be good, because then if I put an object in the way, it'll teach the player that you can do something like, well, not like that, but like that, and you're higher up, and I think that'll be cool. It's like one of my favorite things to watch. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this is working. So, like, what I've done here, if you guys are wondering, none of these objects have any colliders at all. But sorry, none of the objects. What am I saying? The player doesn't have a collider. It has a character controller, and then all of these objects also don't have any colliders. And basically, each one of these just has a distance script on it. So it's just checking the distance of the player. If the player is within range, then we set the player to be the target, and then we lerp the movement to go towards the player. Once it's reached the target, it gets removed and you get the new coin added to your inventory, right? The animation that you're seeing isn't coded. That's actually just using animations in Unity. So if you look, let's go to one of these coins. I can't press F because it'll zoom me out weird, but we have the coin itself, and then we have the animation that I called _spin. It's just an empty game object that holds the object within it. That way I can reuse this anywhere and just swap out this object whenever I want. I could change it, like, I don't know, be this. And then my unpause, it should change. Yeah. There's a question mark object? What? Oh, it's the prototype. I was like, how is it that they have, like, out of everything I clicked here on this list, I clicked one that looks like a coin. Okay. So you can see there, changed to a key, coin, crown, right? And it'll animate perfectly still. Oh, I haven't checked my step limit yet. I should probably do that. Huh. Okay. But anyways, that's how the animation works. And then the script is actually kind of fancy too, because if you look, basically if it has gravity, it's going to fall to the ground. And then when it falls to the ground, it's going to no longer have gravity. If it had random movement, then it's going to choose to go off in a random direction. And then from there, it's going to do some ray casting in front of it and below it. This was supposed to be for a tutorial series. I'm kind of just making it a lot more advanced. I could make it a full tutorial series. It does look pretty nifty. Grab some of these. One thing I don't like is like this key, when it comes, because it's so thin, I don't like the particle effect when it does, like where it's chasing me. Just goes like too high up. Crown's okay. Alright, let's quickly add it so when we're underwater, our camera gets a filter. So this is one of the rare occasions where I actually am using a trigger. So my enter water is just an on trigger enter script, like so. So if other.compareTag is equal to, I think it's main camera, right? Where's my camera? There it is. Yeah, main camera. Saying this line here is the same as writing if other.transform.tag is equal to main camera. It's just comparing to see if this is it. So I can just do a quick debug to say camera entered water. So the thing I definitely suggest to people is whenever you're just trying to code something, make sure what you're actually trying to code is functioning. Like, not functioning, but in the sense of like, you're trying to see if this is in the water, so before you even continue adding the effect, make sure that you're actually getting the check. I don't actually have a character model right now. I'm still debating what I want the character to be. Okay. So now, do I have to run all the way over there again? I do. It's my favorite part. Okay, so the debug is going to appear in the bottom left hand corner there, and the camera should now enter water, and it didn't. Okay, so the reason why this is because my camera doesn't actually have a collider on it, but I don't want to give it a collider. Okay, I'm going to try something. Let's give it a sphere collider. We'll set it to isTrigger and unpause. Okay, so yeah, I just needed the... Is it never knowing again, or is it just... Ah, that's why. Okay. Alvando's saying I can do a raycast. I don't really know what happens if I raycast inside of an object already. So I'm just going to give it a sphere collider and make it a trigger. Raycast is something that I'm just only now recently learning because I tried to avoid it like the plague. Okay, let's also bring him over here for a second. This is where my other enemy is. So one of the reasons why I do need to raycast is an example of why is when I jump on this dude, this guy right here. So this is my first enemy. He's going to run and chase you. If you leave his zone, he turns around. Run and chase you, leave the zone, turns around, right? If I jump on him, he'll stop within a certain range. This is basically when he's supposed to attack me. It's interesting though, if he gets in range I can move, but that works, like, that looks weird here, but that's kind of what I want. So once he gets in range of me, I want him to then to animate that he's going to do an attack, and while he's attacking, he's going to attack the last known position, right? But you see how right now I'm on top of him and he didn't die? That is because this line here was my raycast to see if I am in fact on top of him. Just for Monaco's asking, you're still doing the game though, right? If you're talking about the RPG, yeah, I am. This is, like I said, just a tutorial series. Once I finish coding it, I might change my mind then, because I actually find this a lot more fun to play. as sad as it sounds. I don't know, there's something to me about just running around getting coins and like spinning and, you know, killing a little creature. That sounded messed up, but I mean like in a video game, whatever. I'm never gonna try to justify it. You know what I meant. So Jason Kennedy, so you probably need to do a 5-9 pattern raycast. I have no idea what that is. I'm gonna Google that right now. My idea was gonna be to give him do 5 raycasts, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but just offset them ever so slightly, and put those other 4 on his bounds, outer bounds kind of thing. What is this 5-9 pattern raycast? Is that like a built-in thing that's gonna save me like a million years of what? Okay, this is not what I wanted. Unity. Oh, so yeah, you're saying do it. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured I just have to do, and it's not even any more difficult than what I have. I would just create a loop. In that loop, it would determine where they go. Nine is the same as the 5. You were going with the corners also. Yeah, so the idea is it would be about here would be the other raycast. Here, right? So like right on the edge of the, what do you call it? Capsule. But I guess that's something I should wait on until I model my character, just so I know how big the capsule needs to be. Yeah. But what happens though if I did land on him is it automatically jumps me up, and then I remove the enemy after half a second. So that's where his animation for death would happen. Look up sphere cast. Okay, I'll check that in 1 second. So if you watch here, if I jump on him, it's gonna make me jump, and then I can jump twice more. It actually doesn't look like it let me jump twice more after that. So I don't think I reset the max jumps to 2. So I jump on him. Yeah, it only lets me jump once more after that. That's interesting. No, I don't have a character yet. I'm still debating what I want him to be. Now, another issue that I've noticed with the free look camera rig, if you guys do use it, the camera has an offset on it right here of 3, which means it's pivoting to a point above the character. So when it tries to raycast, it doesn't know to not clip roofs. Krima saying, why don't you add these 2 games together, like some capture the culprit missions or climbing on top of skyscrapers getting locked offices? It's a possibility. That's not out of the question. It's very Sly Cooper-y, if you ever played that game. Yeah, so I could change the offset here, right, to be 0, and then it doesn't go through, and you see there's just clipping slightly there. That's just the clip time. I could change that, but I figured the best way to actually do it is when he's swimming, I'm going to move the camera target, where is it? Camera target, here. I'm just going to lower the camera target over time to here. So that way, when this, like the character's going to, the mesh is going to be sitting like this, camera target's going to be a bit lower, or maybe in his body, I don't really know, I haven't thought that through. Oh, I'm going to have to rotate this, aren't I? Sly Cooper's movement is very, very intense though. Like beyond just basic movement, we have to jump on everything, and it'll. I mean, it's not that difficult, I guess. I wouldn't know how to do it as my first project. No, there's no way. Like now I know how to do it. I've been doing this stuff for years. So if I just move the player, the goal here is that its capsule collider won't be up there. Kind of looks funny with them just like this. Now, if I changed this part here to be yes, gravity. Oh God, take me away, gravity. Take me away. Now I'm moving around like a submarine. I'm not holding anything. Just going off in directions. Well, it's good to know that I can inverse the gravity super easily. But the camera doesn't seem to like that idea much. But yeah, he just goes ape shit on movement. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna want to turn that. But once I figure that out, then I can change this. Or I do actually have what I had. Oh, I'm so dumb. If you look here, I started a raycast to say like, okay, do up, out, hit. If we hit a roof object, right, then we can say, okay, we need to lower our cam pivot by the distance that we're at. What I could do is just once you jump in water, start lowering the camera. Also, I put a trash bin in the drive. Oh god. Oh, you mean like a 3D trash bin? I thought you meant like an image for some reason. But yeah, as soon as you jump in the water, I can make it so the camera starts to move down with it. It'd be a cool effect. So when you jump out, the camera starts moving up again. And then when you go in, you can actually feel the camera also go down. And that might be a cool effect for, like, a feel for the game, right? Because you really feel like you've jumped in the water. Everything kind of sinks down a bit. I'm going to try something. Okay, so in my enter water, which is right here, let's actually get the private game object cam private game object cam pivot void start. Actually, yeah, so cam equals get component, or no, game object dot find game object with tag main camera. I don't even need this. I can just call it cam pivot. I don't need a cam. Double clicking with this new mouse seems to be a difficulty for me. Now look guys, so I'm deciding, I'll decide once I've finished making this series if I should continue with this game or finish the RPG game. Because this game won't take that long to make, in all reality. Once I finish coding, just like tweaking the water effects here, jumping on the enemy, make the main player, I just gotta do different AI and model everything. Then I'm basically done, right? So, cam pivot, okay. So this equals the main camera. Good. So we now have our cam pivot. Then, over here, if it's this, we're gonna say oh, the cam pivot is the parent of this object. The transform parent game object. So I was finding this camera, then I need to go up and find this camera instead. Okay. Alright, you know what we'll do? I don't want this to be an update though, I want this to be a separate script. I don't want all these enter waters to contain it. If I were to make a script here, call this camera pivot, then instead of finding this game object, we could get the camera pivot, cam pivot, and then it's this.transform.parent.get component. Wait, is there a get parent component? Was that a thing? Returns component of type in the game object of any or any of its parents. Okay, let's try that. That's a little bit odd. I've never typed that, so it just basically means I won't need this. Is that going to give me an error? Huh. So that's a thing. That's a weird thing that's a thing. But that is a thing. Why is that a thing? Why did they make that a thing? Like that's literally as if I would have to type that, I could type transform.parent.get component. I guess it's a little bit quicker, but whatever. Anyways, so now I have the camera pivot. Then we're gonna tell the cam pivot to do something. Public void bobble up. Bobble. Bool is going up. Oh, it doesn't even need to be a... I'm gonna try something. Public enum state. And we're gonna call this normal in water. I'm doing good, Zero. How are you doing today? Public state. If state is equal to state dot normal and transform dot local position dot y is not equal 3. So if it doesn't equal this, I'm going to say debug.log move the hell up. So if I were just lower this to 2, yeah, there you go. See how it's saying move the hell up? Perfect. Okay. If state is equal to state dot in water and transform dot local position dot y does not equal... I'm gonna make it -3 maybe. Move it below him? No. Because then it would clip the bottom stuff. Let's do that. Move the hell down. Alright, so then when we enter water, we're just gonna say cam pivot dot state is equal to cam pivot dot state dot in water. 1 equal sign. And then we exit it, we're going to say normal. Alright. Now this might toggle a bunch of times right here. Move the hell down. It didn't ever say move the hell up. So it's normal, it's in water, it's normal. Why am I not getting the debug though if it is changing? Did I not save it? Like, oh, it's because of this. That's why. That makes sense. I didn't plan on actually doing any coding in the stream, so I do apologize. I work on the progress of the game, just where my brain takes me, and this is where it's taking me right now. So, I can delete this, delete all this. Let's just say, do I want to lerp the movement? I suppose I could. Alright, Unity lerp. So for those of you who don't know, lerping something is a way to move an object from A to B, smooth over time. Slurping is where it's slow then fast then slow. So like slow in, slow out, slurp, spherical. Even though, I don't know why that's an S for spherical, but oh well. So, this is all you need. I know it looks like a lot, but it's not that scary. I'm going to move it over to the side here. And we need to go to camera pivot. So basically, we're going to want to know our public float lerp speed. And I'm going to say 1.0f for now. I'm going to say private float start time and a private float journey length. Actually, I don't even need to lerp it because, yeah, it's in update. So it's going to be moving, or we made it so it's constantly moving on the frames. So instead, what we need is something similar to the collectible. This might look a little bit insane for one collectible. Kind of is. Works very well, though, I might add. Transform position, plus transform forward. That's not what I want. That's the rotation. Okay, now this could just be a value of +3. Actually, that might cause some grief for me. So actually what I'm going to do is say if transform the local position, there's also supposed to be locals here, but I'll change that. Local position dot y is greater than 3. Then I'm going to set my, I think it should be float, direction. This is speed that it's going at. Speed direction, sure. I'll zoom in. Okay. So, if my number here is actually greater, we're going to want to move the camera back down then, right? So we're just going to check if it is greater than 3. 3, 3, 3, 3. You know what I can do so this isn't hard-coded? Private float y with an underscore so I know it's private. And then on start, for those of you new to coding, start just happens right when the object is loaded. We're just going to say y equals transform.localPosition.y. So now, if it doesn't equal its starting y, then we're going to have to do some shiz. So if it's greater than the starting y, then we're going to just take our speed direction and times by -1. That's supposed to equals whatever speed direction times by -1. Sure. And then this will be speed direction. So what I'm doing here, whenever you're going to move it position like this, you need to move it on its x, y, and z. So since I don't care to modify the x or the z, I'm just keeping them the same. So it's retaining whatever it had. And then this is the important part right here. We're taking our current y, we're adding this to it. Oh, this should be subtracting, or this should be going down. Yeah, okay. So we're adding the amount to it over time, so it's done, you know, independently of our frame rate, and it goes down. Beaut. Now this, oh yeah, I'll write it again twice, it's fine. Now if we're in water and this doesn't equal 0, I'm kind of just rewriting this twice then if I do it this way. Whatever, let's just try it. If our local position is less than 0, then yeah, I'm just writing this out twice, which is never really good to do, so I'm probably going to have to think of a smarter way to write this. But something like this. But this one's going to be 3, so it goes upwards. 3F. Why is that not working? You're right here. Oh, I put it too low. Ooh, that was loud. Okay. Let's see if I broke my game. Clear, start, or save. Thousands. We went to thousands. You know what? Let's just get rid of this. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, we're adding automatically 3 to this? That's not what I wanted to do. I did this all wrong, eh? Oh, the sun. It's burning! Okay. Let's try transform that position. Oh, wait. Is that just the issue? Shit. It's going up, that's for sure. Come back down, come back down, come back down. Dustin, explain to me the origin of EH. What's EH? Oh, you mean A. If you don't decide to make the RPG game, just get all the assets you made and put them into a 2 medieval and just open assets back. A. I don't really understand why us Canadians do this. It's, you know how when some people end a sentence. Yeah, Jason, that's what I should have done. I should have just lerped it. Which in that case, I am a retard. I just didn't feel right doing lerp and update. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, lerp was the right answer. Yeah, no, origin of A is very similar to like... What's happening here? I'm getting more messages. Whenever somebody says, I know, right? Or I know, and they're nodding their head, it's the same thing. It's just a form of agreeance. Or to like get agreeance. So we just do it subconsciously because that one's just super popular in Canada, I guess. Okay, let's try the lerp. Even though this did actually work, it just didn't go to the right spot. So if you look, whoop, the camera is moving up, but it's just consistently moving up. Or maybe they're just moving in the wrong direction, that's what's breaking it. Let me just try something real quick. This was -3 and this was 3. That would make sense as to them being in the wrong direction. Oh, look at us go! We did do it. So we come down here. What's going on there? Oh, I'm consistently moving my pivot point. You see that? It's still trying to get there. Huh. That's not what I want. Yeah, I'm probably just going to go back to lerping it then. But that does work really well. You see I went up and then down? Really emphasizes that you just dipped in the water. Yeah, okay. We're going to comment this out. I don't want to delete it just yet. But I'm going to switch over to a... I'm going to switch over really quick to a lerp function here. So we need public float speed equals 1.0f, not 10, 0f. You put an f at the end to signify that it's a float, or else it's still going to be an integer essentially. It'll still be a float, but it doesn't try to actually have decimals. Start time, private float, journey, length. So what I'm going to actually do then is create a public void do move, and then we're going to call state okay, and then in here we're going to say start time equals time.time. So we're setting the beginning of our lerp to be whatever time it was when we called this. Then we're setting the journey length. So we need to figure out how far we need to lerp from. And that's just the vector3 distance. So journey length is a float. And a vector3 distance returns a float. So that's why we can equal it here. And we're just going to say it equals our transform.local position .x. Or transform.local position, sorry. And we want it to go to a new vector3 transform.local position.x transform.local position.y. Why would you want the underscore on the left instead of the right? transform.localposition.z. Okay, now this is obviously not exactly what we want because we first need to figure out, let's create a float direction. Or not that, it's just going to be float point. If, yeah, no, so a habit for me is to always put it afterwards, so it's going to be really weird if I put this in front. I'll try it, I don't know. If state is equal to state.inWater. Oh, you know what I could do? Oops. State equals underscore state. If state is equal to inWater, point is going to equal 0. Else, if state is equal to state.normal, point is going to equal 3f. I don't think I need a 0f here, but sure, why not? By default, we're going to actually have it at 0f. Now, I technically could just delete this, but I might want to move the camera around other ways also. So I'm just going to leave that for now. And then this is just going to add point. Oh, no, this is taking... Oh. Wait. You know what I think I did wrong here? With my man-made lerp. I'm going to just try something real quick. Nope, my man-made lerp is shit. Alright, we'll do a proper lerp. Okay. So we don't actually want this to get our local position. We just want it to go to the point, like so. Makes the thing be 0 or 3. These stay the same. Cool. Okay, then... we're going to say, we can create a bool. Private bool is lerping. So if we're lerping, then we're going to do float distance covered equals the current time of the game minus when we started times it by the speed that we want to move at. Then we want to figure out how far along our journey we are. So we're going to get a fraction of the journey, which is just how much we've gone over the length of it. That's just some simple math there. And then transform.local position is going to equal vector3.lerp. I might even try slurp. It's the same thing. You just change it to an SL instead of an L. And we're going to now take this, right? No. We want to lerp between transform.local position and the fudge am I supposed to do with this now? I didn't save this anywhere. We'll just do that. New vector 3. No, but that's going to be changing our positions the entire time. I could just do this. Because our local positions should be zeros, right? So I can say 0.0, I think. And then we probably should tell it how fast it's going to do this over. Or like how far it is along the journey, I mean. There we go. You can write your own camera pivot. Yeah, go for it. I mean, that's actually really good. Maybe you'll write one better than mine. I'll just use it if you wouldn't mind, but we'll see. So we have this. Now we're just going to say if fraction of the journey is, so that's going to be a percentage. We're just going to say if it reaches like 0.95%, then we're just going to say is lerping equals false. And here we're going to say is lerping equals true. By default, it's going to be false. And then over in here. There we go. Okay. That was a lot of effort. Took me a lot longer than I thought it would too. To jump in. Whoa. It's still trying to move every time I bobble out, which kind of makes this unbearable. But that was really nice. Yeah, it becomes really hard to get out because the camera is so bobbly. Right, and the reason why the bobble's happening is because we're constantly leaving and entering the water again. But we're not actually, as you can see, it's still saying... It's just constantly lerping, isn't it? Let me just do a debug here. Something's off. But that works way better than this, so we can delete this. And this. And this. And this. Boom. Yeah, so you see it's still saying it here. It gets to 0. Okay, something is throwing me off here. If the fraction of the journey... What if I change this to 0.9? So it's 90% of the way. So it's not actually going down to 0, but... No, it's still lerping. Until I go down here. That's really weird. Because I'm not getting a call saying... Oh, that's the camera that entered, that's why. I bet you we are... Okay, I'm a derp. If I were to put a debug here, it's probably saying entered a bunch of times. Yeah, every time I bobble, it says entered. So I guess what I could do is just give that a delay. So... Yeah, I guess we could. Private float delay equals 0.25f. Void update private bool in water equals false. So what I'm just going to do here is say if we're in the water, right, then we're going to just make our delay subtract by the time over time, and then if our delay is less than 0 or equal to 0, then we're going to call this. Or we could do this on the exit, but the exit was really nice, so we're going to actually do it on the enter for now. And then we're also here going to say delay equals 0.25f, and wait, I used the wrong one. Oh no, it was the one we enter the water. So let's say in water equals true. So we enter, this then fires saying, okay, do all this, delay equals this, in water equals false. That doesn't really make sense to call it in water then. Just entered water. And then when we exit though, I don't think I need to set it false. I might need to set it false, but let's just test this. So yeah, you saw the delay and now it's still Entered. Entered. When is this happening? Oh, this is causing me grief. Let's do a 2-second delay. Don't really know if this is working, to be honest. So the issue is the exit. What? I don't know. Anyways, guys, it's been an hour now, so I'm going to end my stream here. Thank you for watching. I'll figure this out. I do have to now get ready to go hang out with people, so yeah. Take care, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I do have Patreon if you want to check that out. I only have a whole $3 on it, but slowly I'm sure it'll grow. Take care, everybody.